9/17, 2014 to all our new MMTs is that Janet Yellen is right now speaking about how the Fed made the announcement, and we're going to get all the verbiage as to what she thinks about the economy, how markets are going to react, how the Dow just hit up to 52 points, S&P is coming up to all-time highs at 2006, the Nasdaq composite is up 22 handles, and parabolic breakout as Janet Yellen speaks. She's going to start talking about the economic conditions and why they list their report the way that they did. You can see right here, she is speaking. We're getting some selling off of that knee jerk. This is part two, and now she's given her conference as to what's going on with the economy, what their FOMC minutes views are. This is a 3-minute Dow. That is the S&P. And I will come back in a moment to all of my traders around the world, the MMTs at heart, how to trade that volatility. I am showing the same thing on the Nasdaq composite. This thing broke out to big time. And now that she's talking, you can see right here that we're starting to get a very slight pullback on the volatility announcement by Janet Yellen at the FOMC market. And this is live. It's about trading volatility. It's about what you can do with these kinds of announcements and how the news is going to play out. First, it sold down in part one, and now you can clearly see the continuation of the FOMC announcement. And this is part two, and these are the key indexes, and then I'm going to get more data. She is speaking right now to the world. I'm going to come back and then debrief all of our traders around the world. Companies have grown 2 times faster than the U.S. GDP. Inflation has been running below the committee's objective, below 2%, and we continue to grow at a very moderate or slower to moderate growth in the U.S. Monitoring the unemployment in the U.S. economy and that inflation is key because it's below consensus. Job growth, we've had a little bit of stuff, but they're still concerned about job growth. Unemployment at 5.9 to 6.0% on the unemployment part, and we're going to learn more about that. Activities in the U.S. economy are expanding, but once again, they're going to be heavily monitored as we go into calendar 2016 and how Miss Yellen is going to be looking at all of the income data and all of your economic indicators very carefully. And what that job growth is going to be the key. Remember, I'm telling people around the world, this is the lowest recovery we've ever had. And not everybody's even convinced. But the market is in a bull market right now. And a bull is a bull. One of the key factors that she's talking about now is the gross domestic product, GDP, relative to the rest of the economic indicators, and a mild to moderate expansion in activity. Remember that the GDP is lagging a lot of activity in corporate America, because it is. And what she announced during this meeting is they reduced their repurchases by $5 billion. So they are taking that number down. QE1, QE2, QE3, just nothing but irrational exuberance before you now at 11:37 a.m. It is 9/17, 2014, and we're in her Q&A session. As you can see her statements, we're getting some volatility reversal. That's why we told people in part one, in the beginning, you have to sell that knee-jerk reaction. You just don't sit there and hold it. No. They talk about inflation being at all-time lows. Well, I can tell you by looking at my checkbook and by looking at everything that I got to purchase as a consumer, That is super inflation. I mean, it's costing America more, the people, and they say inflation is not running higher. No, inflation is higher on an individual savings account level to what they have to pay. And that's a big disconnect. But you got three indexes right here, and she's still talking, my MMT. As she's speaking, the reason why we sold out on that Amazon, we sold it out up here at the highs. We did buy dips, and that's Amazon.com. As you can see right now, how Apple broke out and why you have to learn how to sell volatility. Here were the breakouts on Netflix, straight up, major resistance and a reversal, and indexes are doing the same. This is the Netflix where my pointer is, and knowing how to get in and get out is the key. Once again, as the three follow-up stocks that we've been trading, this is what happens on Tesla Motors right here, right now. Right here and right now, it follows the indexes. Tesla, index, index, and index. You can see how they trade together, my new MMTs. So right now we're getting more talk, and I'm going to talk more about this in part 2, but I just want my new MMTs that this bull market has a lot of legs behind it. The most important thing in part 2, as it was in part 1, how do I trade volatility? We are going to be your management when you're trading. And what does that mean? We will give you trading capital. When you open an account and you read the videos and you do everything, you scroll down here, we will fund your trading account. And you will have the management behind our market maker division and our volatility division. How to trade volatility to the upside, how to short volatility, everything that it does to take a profit here and now. StockMarketFunding.com. Go ahead and click on the free trial tab. Get started. Read the content. Get started. 5 days with us live, right in the markets like right now. Here's was the analysis on the S&P 500 that we did yesterday, and that the bulls had jumped back in yesterday, and they got a continuation move and then a rollover on the FOMC announcement. All our live videos, we have over 5,000 live videos, trades, economic indicators, indexes, equities, after-hour earnings, quarter to quarter, everything that you want to know to have the perfect recipe for you, and you should take the right steps and get back involved in this bull market. Now, here's that reversal volatility, because every time they give a conference in MT, so people are going to be asking her questions. The more she talks, the more reversal that we have. FOMC meeting part 2, high action volatility and how to trade these markets. Cheap money, cheap everything. Here is a reversal volatility in part 2 called the FOMC Q&A questions that the world is asking. They're giving their views now, and this is in part 2 from part 1. My MMTs. We are shorting stocks. As they go down, stocks go right back down. I am showing the indexes. The Dow is only up 22. The S&P now is at 2001. It has a reversal. The Dow, all of them have reversals. As she speaks, you go down. Another thing, my MMTs, as you know, you buy the volatility, you sell the volatility short, you get the reversals, how to trade that round trip volatility, knee jerk up, reversal to come back down, and they're going to be digesting everything that Janet Yellen has to say here and now at 11:46 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The date is 9/17/2014, and it's our pleasure, MMTs, and our traders around the world, that people can see these events live here, where? At StockMarketFunding.com. Come over here, join the Stock Market Funding Trading Division, and your life will be involved in the bull market. Here we are, still in part 2. And that's a reversal to the news. We're going to go take a look at our broader stocks now that we bought and sold faster than you could pull a 6-gun shooter in a dirty fight, gunfight. That's what they look like. And once again, MMTs, whether it's the FOMC, whether it's an earnings announcement, whether it's an upgrade, whether if it's a downgrade, headline volatility is your best friend. What they are saying, though, is that conditions can change at any time. The economy has a slow rate of expanding. The slowest ever in United States history, I can tell you that now. I said in the United States history. We got a very good trade on shorting Amazon.com. It spiked. You can see Amazon right here now. When the indexes go down, the S&P goes down, these stocks go down in the volatility. Learn how to short volatility in part 2 at 11:49 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and this is how it works. This is exactly how it works. This is Amazon. These are the indexes. They don't lag price. Learn how to buy the pop, sell the drop, get short, get round-trip ticket trades, get involved with headline events. Apple Computer, here it is, and it too follows the indexes. It too follows the volatility, the breakout announcement, the reversal as they're in their live event right now. And that chart is Apple Computer, and these are your indexes going down, going down, going down. Now they're popping back up, and it's all about buying and selling stocks on price volatility with an FOMC announcement. I'm just updating that Baidu breakout, BIDU, what a nice breakout, and it's holding quite a bit of its gain. So basically, as we go through the Q&A, that's BIDU relative to indexes and FOMC. This is that Google trade and how Google just continues to go higher relative to what the indexes has done. Once again, it's a bellwether. So right now it's 11:51 a.m. They're still in the Q&A session. Part 2, FOMC meeting, 9/17/2014. And one of the things that we would just really like to tell you is that StockMarketFunding.com does all of these trades before the fact, not after the fact. And every time a stock goes up, the public sure likes to talk about it, but they don't own it, they're not in it, and nor did they trade it. Here, all of that's going to happen for you and a whole lot more. We are number 1 on YouTube with live trades. Year after year, quarter after quarter, day after day, week, month, we show what we know. We show who we are. Some people can handle it. Some people can't. Some people that we have to dismiss from our trading division. And then, of course, they get hateful because they're no longer part of it. People don't understand their emotional part to trading.